Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you are new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now ladies and gentlemen, information reaching us right now is that IPOA officers have managed to arrest a second suspect in connection with the brutal murder of 31-year-old teacher Albert Ojwang. And this is a plus because it's deepening the investigation into this disturbing case. Now, IPOA managed to arrest one police officer yesterday, and that is Constable James Mutisya. He was arrested and held at Capitol Hill police station. But today he has been arraigned in a court of law. He was arraigned at Milimani Law Court. And IPOA investigative officers, according to what we've gathered, is that they are seeking to detain Constable James Mutisya for 21 more days so as to continue with the investigations. Because their argument is that if he's released, he might compromise their investigations. He might get in touch with key witnesses that they are looking for. Because apparently some of the witnesses or the people they are seeking to interrogate, some have gone under, they've switched their phones, they've gone under.
Your Honor, we've not. There's an application I'm making now.
Oh, you're not yet.
No, we are not yet.
All right.
Your Honor, the respondent wishes to make an application for him to be released on bail and reasonable bond terms. On the following basis: there has not been established any compelling reasons to warrant the respondent to be detained for 21 days. The respondent willingly submitted to the authorities when summoned. The respondent is a serving police officer. And the government has all the records.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, just as you have seen in that video, the guy who is Constable James Mutisya has been arraigned in court. I know the IPOA investigative officers will narrow down to more police officers, maybe who are working on that day. They would want to know like what happened, because so far they've said that they are going to investigate over 17. They are going to interview over 17 police officers, some who are working on that day, because there are people who are working during night shift, and there are guys who are also relieved them in the morning. So they want to get as much evidence as possible. Something that has also developed right now is the fact that a second suspect has been arrested. And what is interesting is that this is a civilian suspect. IPOA, while appearing before Parliament yesterday, said that they are trailing two key civilian suspects. Though they did not name them, but they have now arrested one key suspect who is very interesting in that this is a CCTV technician who was procured by key police officers within Central Police Station to disable the CCTV system at Nairobi Central Police Station. and he is now in custody. That is a very interesting development. So according to our sources, it has been confirmed that the 23-year-old technicians allegedly tampered with the CCTV system at the Nairobi Central Police Station, and he was paid, get this, how much? Apparently, he was allegedly paid 3,000 shillings. And the guys who paid him were very smart because they knew that the CCTV system would give evidence. So they were trying to tamper with the potential evidence on whether Ojwang was tortured and killed within the station. So the question is, who is this who procured this guy to tamper with the CCTV system? This is the person of interest. And if you understand how CCTV operates, I think there are security levels into the access of passwords of the decoder of CCTV. So whoever gave him access to the password must be an administrator to this whole setup. So who is this guy? He must be a senior person within that police station. We don't want to preempt because this is something which is still being investigated. But these are the questions that we are asking. That who is this guy who gave out the password? That this must be a key person. And for him to have done that, then it means he knows everything behind this. He must have planned, and he knew very well that whatever he was going to do was a serious crime. So he's trying to avoid being held responsible. So far, so good. I think IPOA is moving in the right direction, and hopefully they will narrow down to whoever ordered for the murder of Albert Ojwang. Because according to IPOA had previously revealed that investigations or their investigators had encountered significant challenges due to the missing CCTV footage, particularly from the office of the officer, that is the OCS. But from my experience, or from the little that I know that CCTV footages can be salvaged. I think we have very good technicians in Kenya who can do that. Not only in Kenya, but even DCI has some of the best technicians who can do that, who can salvage that footage. But the question is, will they be willing to do that? Even IPOA, I think they should be having very good people with technical know-how on how to salvage. But if that doesn't, I think if that doesn't happen, then the information that they will get from these key witnesses will be able to be used to narrow down to who did what and at what time. Another issue is that if IPOA manages to arrest the guys who murdered Albert Ojwang, it will send a very, very clear picture to the rogue police officers that however much you try to hide behind the big guys, that is the seniors within the rank, thinking that you will be protected. You know, when you commit a crime, the law will still narrow down to you as an individual or the group that did all this. And someone will have to go down. And whenever such a thing happens, the big guys or your seniors will try to walk away from you and you will remain alone. And I hope all these things can be done in, we can have CCTV footages in all these police stations around the country, because there are so many cases that have been reported of guys dying while in custody. The last 1 year, I think over 20 cases have been reported of guys dying while in custody. And these people who are responsible are always let to go without being charged in a court of law. And I think this is what has boldened some of these police officers, so that they know that they can walk scot-free without being charged in a court of law after committing such a heinous crime. And part of the proposals that I think IPOA or the Internal Security Department should come up with is to come up with a plan of how to install CCTV cameras in all police stations in Kenya, major or key police stations in Kenya. This will help to deter such cases. And because at the back of their mind, they'll be able to know that there is a third eye watching what is going on within these police cells. Because police officers have been doing all this, and because they know that they have a way of covering or doing away with the evidence. And once they do away with the evidence, they know that no one will be held responsible. They can even fake stories that maybe someone committed suicide. Like in the case of Albert, they had already coined a story that this guy somehow committed suicide within his cell. Had Kenyans not risen up and demanded for justice, that is the story that would have taken home, because this was coming from the Inspector General. So I think so many Kenyans have died within police custody, and these police officers have not been held responsible. So it's high time Kenyans demanded that all these things are done in a way that if something similar happens, then you're able to narrow down to the police officers who are involved. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a very interesting story, so keep it here. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye bye.